In 1924, a farmer in central France unearthed dozens of small clay tablets etched with spirals, symbols, and figurative scenes. Dubbed the Glosal tablets, their age and origin remain fiercely debated. Radiocarbon dates have swung between the Neolithic and Iron Age, while critics dismiss them as a hoax. Yet the spirals and pictograms defy simple classification, resisting our attempts to pin down a culture or language. Beneath the waves off the coast of Antikythera, a sponge diver in 1900 brought up the first fragments of what would become the Antikythera Mechanism. This bronze assembly of interlocking gears, precise, miniature, and far ahead of its purported era, tracks solar, lunar, and planetary cycles. No ancient text describes such an analog computer. Its workmanship vanished with the scientists and craftsmen who forged it. Off Alexandria's Abuka Bay lies the submerged city of Heraclion, once lost beneath silt for millennia. Discovered in 2000, sunken columns, statues, and temple foundations emerge in the murky waters. Inscriptions in Greek and Egyptian confirm it as a thriving port, yet its abrupt disappearance, possibly due to earthquakes and rising tides, erased its chronicle until modern sonar gave it voice. We began this odyssey among clay spirals, bronze gears, and buried temples, and now we journey from the windswept Mediterranean to the lush, whispering forests of the Amazon basin. Feel the weight of history shift as we journey from the windswept Mediterranean to the lush, whispering forests of the Amazon basin. Here, as satellite images peeled back the canopy, scholars stumbled on monumental geometric enclosures, vast ditches, earthen walls, and symmetrically placed mounds stretching for miles. The earthworks of Brazil's Acre State and Bolivia's Llanos de Moxos defy centuries of assumptions. Pre-Columbian hunter-gatherers, or early agrarian societies, crafted these enormous shapes between 200 CE and 1000 CE, burying evidence beneath millennia of tropical regrowth. Walking the perimeter of a circular enclosure 50 meters across, you can trace its carefully graded ramparts and spot gateway openings aligned to solstices. Soil samples and charcoal fragments tacked to these banks date them to the late Holocene, yet no written records or oral tradition survive. Were they ceremonial gathering places for seasonal feasts? Loci for astronomical observation? Or markers of territorial boundaries between rival polities? We know that ancient Amazonian rivers fluctuated, that seasonal floods reshaped the landscape, yet these builders engineered drainage channels to protect their sacred grounds. And still no clear blueprint survives, only echoes imprinted in the soft earth. Thousands of kilometers away, under the rolling hills of Cappadocia in central Turkey, lies another labyrinth, this one carved entirely from the living rock. In 1963, a resident of Derinkuyu village discovered a hidden stone door set into a basement wall. Pushing it aside revealed a narrow tunnel descending into a subterranean city capable of sheltering some 20,000 souls. Over 8 levels spread living quarters, stables, wine cellars, ventilation shafts, and sanctuaries intricately hollowed out of tough stone. Here, flickering torchlight would have danced across keystone arches and sloping passageways, guiding inhabitants through labyrinthine halls. Ingenious air shafts ensure fresh oxygen reached the deepest chambers, while rolling stone doors could be sealed from within to repel invaders. Scholars argue it began as a Hittite refuge around the 15th century BCE, later expanded by Phrygians, Byzantines, early Christians, but no single inscription crowns these tunnels with a builder's name. We see evidence of rapid expansion, painted crosses in narrow chapels, storage pits for grain and livestock. Yet the original purpose, sacred sanctuary, military stronghold, or communal bunker during seismic turmoil, eludes consensus. Turning eastward, we find China's Longyu Caves, 24 colossal grottos hewn from Cretaceous sandstone in Zhejiang province. In 1992, local farmers drained 5 small fish ponds and revealed an enormous chamber slabbed in smooth walls, fluted pillars, and vaulted ceilings. Subsequent surveys uncovered 24 more caves, each at least 30 meters long, 20 meters wide, and 8 meters high. The sheer scale, over 1 million cubic meters of rock excavated by anonymous hands, astonishes researchers. Tool marks seem too regular to be natural, yet no historical record mentions them, no date stamps their creation. Carbon tests on nearby charcoal date human activity to the Qin or Han dynasties, but even the finest imperial annals remain silent. Were they hidden shrines, underground grain repositories, or prisons of forgotten emperors? The uniform grid patterns on chamber floors hint at ritual use, while the absence of debris suggests workers carted every stone away. After decades of speculation, these vast voids still whisper secrets in the cool subterranean air. Shift now to the mist-shrouded plains of Costa Rica's Diquis Delta, where more than 300 polished stone spheres lie scattered among earthworks and burial mounds. Ranging from a few centimeters to over 2 meters in diameter, these gabbro globes form alignments that trace ancient plazas and causeways. First recorded by explorers in the 1930s, they embody an engineering feat, prehistoric artisans shaping near-perfect orbs without metal tools or lathe devices. Some spheres cluster in tight groups, others stand sentinel at the edges of mounds. Radiocarbon dates from charcoal beneath them place many around 500 CE to 1000 CE, the apogee of the Diquis chiefdoms. Legends speak of dragon eggs and curses for removing them. European chroniclers marveled at their perfection. But when archaeologists relocated dozens to museums, they severed the stones from their spatial context, losing alignment data that might reveal calendrical or cosmological patterns. Today, the spheres await new geospatial analyses, hoping to unlock the coded messages of a vanished culture. Finally, we traverse the banks of the Indus River to the enigmatic seals and tablets of the Indus Valley civilization. Carved into steatite, copper, terracotta, and bronze, these small artifacts bear 400 distinct signs woven into miniature narratives: animals, ritual scenes, geometric motifs. Yet after nearly a century of scholarship, no one agrees on what they say. Each inscription averages 5 to 6 characters, too brief to reveal grammar, too cryptic to match neighboring scripts. We know this civilization thrived between 2600 BCE and 1900 BCE across modern Pakistan and northwest India, trading with Mesopotamia and Persia. We watch as sturdy citadels at Harappa, Mohenjo-Daro, and Dholavira rise and fall. We catalogue beads, copper tools, granaries. Yet when the seals fall silent, we lose the voices of merchants, priests, and kings. Proposed decipherments invoke Dravidian roots, Indo-European ties, even non-linguistic accounting symbols. Each theory dissects fragments through archaeological, linguistic, and statistical lenses, yet consensus remains tantalizingly out of reach. Without a Rosetta Stone bridging this gulf, the script stands as an engraved challenge on the slippery banks of a river that memory could not tame. We began this odyssey among clay spirals, bronze gears, and buried temples, and now we surface from underground cities, dive beneath forgotten spheres, and pore over minuscule seals. Each mystery threads into a tapestry of human ingenuity, loss, and our relentless urge to decode the past. Plunge now beneath the sapphire swell off India's western shores, where sonar surveys and diving expeditions have charted sunken pillars, terraces, and streets laid out in grid form. Near the Gulf of Kambat, clusters of stone blocks rest 20 meters down, encrusted in barnacles and corals. Some align with cardinal directions, others mirror the geometry of nearby riverbeds. Radiocarbon tests on wood fragments pull the date back 4 millennia. Yet tides, silt, and seismic shifts have buried any inscription or pottery shard. Were these the ruins of Devrak, Krishna's legendary city, swallowed by the sea, or an unknown maritime hub that bridged ancient India and Mesopotamia? Each dive returns with tantalizing fragments, but no key to unlock the cathedral of stone beneath the waves. We surface in the sun-drenched valley of Lebanon's Baalbek, where 3 megaliths known as the Trilithan lean like slumbering giants. Each block, some tipping the scales at over 800 tons, sits atop a platform of flawlessly dressed limestone. How did Bronze Age engineers quarry, transport, and raise these behemoths with ropes, rollers, and sheer human will? Nearby, the stone of the pregnant woman, a single monolith estimated at 1,000 tons, still lies in its quarry. The colossal scale eclipses even the pyramids, yet Baalbek's builders left no written blueprint. Their secret vanished along with the Hellenistic temples and Roman colonnades that once crowned these terraces. Shift to the mist-shrouded slopes of Japan's Tatema Mountains, where mountaineers stumbled upon rusted iron pipes jutting from moss-clad cliff faces, and perfectly formed, pyramid-shaped earthen mounds ringed by stone retaining walls. Local folklore speaks of hidden mountain mines and tunnels carved by monks in the 8th century, and whispered legends of lost Buddhist scriptures sealed in chambers behind sliding stone doors. Geologists date the pipes to the Edo period, yet the pyramidal mounds predate any known settlement. Were these sacred shelters for ascetics seeking enlightenment amid the clouds? Or the remnants of an unknown eco-engineering project to channel spring water for remote shrines? The peaks hold their silence as snow and talus reclaim whatever truths lie within. Return now to the deep forest corridors of Borneo, where, hidden by the canopy's emerald vault, a series of colossal stone urns and monolithic markers punctuate forgotten riverbanks. Some vessels exceed 2 meters in height, carved from a single granite block. Archaeologists whisper of lost kinship cults and ancestor worship ceremonies performed here under full moons. Yet no inscriptions survive, only the echo of dripping water and the hum of cicadas among the stones. Each of these marvels, submerged cities, megastone puzzles, mountain enigmas, and jungle monuments, stands as a testament to ingenuity erased by time and nature. They beckon us to piece together scattered clues, a broken pillar here, a sonar mapping there, a whispered legend passed down centuries. In part, for we will chart the submerged temples off the Mediterranean isle of Antikythera, scale the sunlit terraces of Peru's Kulap Fortress, and search the hidden caverns beneath New Mexico's Chaca Canyon, where light dances through vents once aligned to star cycles. The most astonishing revelations still lie buried, waiting for those bold enough to pry them free.